Hello! Welcome back to another episode of What It Takes to Be a Rock Star. I'm your host, Mel, and this week I am interviewing Tall Juan. Hello and welcome back. Welcome to season 2 of What It Takes to Be a Rock Star. I'm so excited to be back. Thank you for your patience for those of you who are listening throughout season 1. This week I am really excited because I am interviewing Tall Juan, who is one of my friends for a good amount of years now. We met back in I think 2017 while we were both on tour in Massachusetts, but we both were living in the New York City area, so it was funny to meet New York musicians up in Massachusetts playing a random house show, and I just remember being blown away by Juan and his band that night, and we all became friends, my band and his band, and we played a bunch of music and like chatted late into the night. And I think we all crashed there and chatted in the morning too and ate breakfast and then went on our way. I think it was my friend Mike's place, who plays in the band Mibble. And that was where we played the show. It was super fun. But yeah, for those of you who are tuning in for the first time, this podcast is called What It Takes to Be a Rock Star because I am talking with musicians from all walks of life, signed, unsigned, DIY, not DIY, about the behind-the-scenes stuff that they have to do in order to play music, because there is a lot that goes behind it. If you ever wondered how someone is suddenly playing a drum set in Texas when they flew in from New York, this will hopefully answer your questions. Or how do artists afford to record? Or how much it costs to record? So this is my goal for this podcast, is to bring some light and understanding into that behind the scenes stuff. So I have a lot of amazing guests coming up for the season, so please stay tuned in. But for now, I hope you enjoy this conversation that I had with Juan. And a little backstory with him. He is really awesome because he moved from Argentina to New York, barely knowing any English, if any at all, having not written songs yet. And he moved to New York, and then like a few years later, he was playing shows, playing his songs all over the place, going on tour in the US, like just an amazing story. So that's why I really wanted to hear the full backstory of where he came from and how he's doing now and what he's up to now. So yeah, I hope you enjoy this conversation, and here we go. I just want to hear a little bit about your like first shows, like when you started, like what brought you to guitar. Like, did you meet someone that you're hanging out with that had a guitar, or like how did you get your first guitar? Just want to hear about that a little bit.
Yeah, that has to do with I mean, like a lot of of everything in my life is with at home. It's like my dad, he's a musician, so he had a guitar at home. Then his friends will come over and they will practice. And when the friends will come over, they will bring electric guitars, and I'll be like, "Oh my God, that's so fucking cool!" Now it's just like waiting for them just take a break and then just go grab the guitar and be like, "Can I play?" Yes, and I always just play. I remember I remember the first time I played this Stratocaster, and I was like, whoa, because I was used to playing this acoustic. My dad, he had an acoustic guitar that was really shitty. He had it since he was 15. So imagine by the time I was a kid, the guitar was like, what, like 30 years old.
Yeah.
Uh, and it was really bad. It wasn't like it wasn't a good one. So I was always playing that guitar at home, just messing around and learning chords. And whenever like a real Fender guitar would come into the house, I'd be like so excited. And I remember the first time I played that guitar, I was like, wow. I was like, I want to play
Yeah.
guitar. And then
Oh.
thankfully my parents like the they were like kind of like hippies and also like they will let me do a lot of things. You know, I'm the youngest of four, so I was allowed to do a lot of things. Uh, but and also they were very supportive. When they saw that I was really interested, they got me a guitar. Actually, you know, the first my dad he reached out to a friend of his who had a spare guitar, and then they basically they got me his friend's guitar. They let me borrow it for like whatever, a couple of years. So I had
Wow.
an electric guitar. It wasn't a Fender, but it was an electric guitar.
Wow.
And then this guy he let me borrow also a 412 tube amp, like a combo, but it was a 412, like a big ass amp. So I was playing like really loud. I was playing Marilyn Manson songs on the guitar. It was cool.
Dang.
The and when they saw that I was playing every fucking single day and I was getting better, and also another friend of my dad who was a really good guitar player and producer, he will come to like family gatherings, and you know they will drink too late and play guitar, and then I will play here and there like a song, and then this guy he was like, yo, I think he's good, he can play. I would like to teach him guitar. If you can bring him to my house, I teach him. And it was kind of like, oh, cool, because in like within the group of friends, he was kind of like the the musician, you know, he was good. So that guy he showed interest, and he kind of like was. I think now looking back, he was my mentor. So he took me to yeah, he told me how to play guitar for like a maybe like a year when I was maybe 10 or 9. And then I will never practice, never. Even though that was what I like to do, I will never practice. I didn't like to practice guitar, just like to play.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and then the guy, he was at some point, he was like, just don't bring him anymore because he doesn't really, he doesn't like to practice.
Oh.
I like to learn songs and just listen to songs and just learn them by ear. I guess that was my thing.
Mm-hmm.
And then after that, I just kept playing, yeah, in bands, stuff like that. Played my first show as a guest. I play a song with my dad's friend's band. They had like this kind of like residency at a place that was really fucking cool. It was kind of like a backyard with a swimming pool, and like it was very popular in that neighborhood, this band, and they would play, and that party was like a known party. It will be like, I don't know, for 300 people, and everybody will get fucked up. Like it was cool. It was like a really cool party, and I was 10, and it was really nice. It was cool to be a kid and be able to go to those places. And one time those guys they were like, you should play a song with us. And I got on stage and my legs were shaking like crazy. So I had to sit, and so I played the song sitting down.
Oh my
But
God, you're shaking
but it
so
was
bad.
really cute. I mean, that was really cool that was my very, very first time playing guitar. Uh
Wow.
yeah, I'm getting nervous right now remembering that moment. That was cool.
Oh yeah, yeah. That's a big moment.
Yeah, that
Yeah,
definitely was like, okay, I want to keep doing this.
yeah, yeah.
And
Because
then
you were like nervous, but
I fucking
did you
love it.
like the feeling? Yeah.
Of course, yeah. And also like the thing is after that then I play another show, and then when I was 13 I started a band and we played a couple of shows. And then I was 14, 15, I played many more shows by then. And yeah, I kept getting better and better on the guitar and also on stage. I just like felt more comfortable. And then I think by yeah, by age 15, I was just chilling, and also by then I had already like gone to the studio, which that was like actually the first time was really it was really nerve-wracking too, the first studio experience. Like
Yeah.
everything, like first time I was like, oh my God, what the fuck? I'm in the studio or on
Yeah.
stage or but yeah, that was that was it.
What was the first studio experience? Was it with, did you have like a band that you came with, or did you just go alone and work with like
I
someone
went
who
with
was
a
there?
band. No,
Cool.
with a band. We had a band when I was 13, which actually I had to find the recordings because it was really cool.
I
It was
would love
kind of
to
like
hear that.
a little kind of hardcore, but also mixed with a little bit of like I would say a little Sonic Youth, and
Sweet.
yeah, so it was kind of like hardcore grungy. Even though I don't like grunge music, but um, and the band was called Crime, like Crime, and there was a band called Crime too in the 70s in the States, and I didn't know that. But yeah, so we went with with that band. I was playing bass in that band. I would play bass and sing, then this guitar player and a drummer.
Cool.
It was really yeah. We recorded I
Wow.
think like 5 songs.
Cool. And
That
did
was
you record all live? Do you remember? Or was it like,
yeah.
yeah,
It was all live.
yeah.
It
And
was
what did
really.
you think? Like, because I know you said you were nervous, but like, I don't know, that first studio experience, it is kind of weird. You're like, this is recording in the studio. Like, it's so, like, what were you thinking about it when you were there? Do you
I
remember?
was so fucking excited. I wanted to go back and record again. I loved it.
Yeah.
I was like definitely like it was a lot. Actually, I'm lying. The first time I recorded in the studio, I was um I was like maybe like 7 years old, like eight.
What?
But I went to do backing vocals for my uncle's project, right?
Uh,
He needed kids. So I went with my siblings and cousins. And that was horrible. I remember that was horrible because I couldn't really get the note that they wanted. They asked me to do something I couldn't do it. I
mm-hmm.
felt really bad. I didn't like that.
Mm-hmm.
But with the band was great because we were doing what we wanted to do and it was cool. There was no one really telling us, oh, change this, or we were just playing live like a practice. And this guy he put like microphones and then he kind of mixed it and it sounded sick. It sounded
Yeah.
really cool. I
That's
can
the
share that
best.
whenever I find I can share that with you. It's so fun.
Please, I want to hear
It
it.
was really cool, like little me. I
Yeah.
was I was 12, 13 when I did that. That was the
Yeah.
first one.
It's such like pure music too, like the first music you make with your friends when you're young. It's just like this, I don't know, it's like a something really special about that
Yeah.
music that comes out when you're really
Yeah.
little.
Yeah. I remember like at times I would think like I was better back then than now in many ways. But it's not that I was it was like way more pure. It's like
Mm-hmm.
there's something that with very little I was able to get excited myself. It was enough for me just to get what I wanted to get from music, which was like whatever, like get the anger out or like get excited and also the passion. The guitar player on that band was my classmate, and we will spend like in between classes we will spend all the time talking about the band and thinking about like playing hooky and go practice instead. And it was really cool because I mean we were on the same page. I think I believe so, and it was cool just to be planning and be like, yeah, no, we're gonna play the show. We should practice and we're gonna record and this and that. It was really cool. And I had like older people in my neighborhood and bands that I would listen to when I was a kid, like bands that they were doing well, like in the underground scene. They were like the cool bands. And maybe those guys they were like what I made almost 20 years older than me. I was 13 and they were like maybe they were like late 20s, early 30s. And those guys they knew they listened to the music that we were recording and they really like it. Like they were like passing the CD. I passed the CD to a friend of mine and who was older. And then this friend of mine, this actually really influential guy in my life, who was a musician. He was like 10 years older than me. Uh, he's the one who introduced me to all these older people.
Cool.
And he will take me to the practice and he will uh, invite me to jam. And that's it. That once that happened, that was kind of like the me in the world. I started meeting people, all these like bands that I liked, they were kind of like liking what I was doing, and it was sick. It was really cool. And yeah, after that, then I started kind of like got connected after that thing with the music world.
Cool. Did
Yeah.
you do any touring like before you moved to the US?
No, in Argentina, it was really hard to do that.
Okay.
That's
Yeah.
why when I moved here, I was like, wow, you can just be like, I'm going on tour, and you go.
Yeah.
Even like it was easier like 12 years ago than it is right now, I guess. Also
Hmm.
because you're less pretentious and you don't really care about if you make money or if you lose money or you sleep in the floor.
Right, right.
I guess I care about that a little more now.
Yeah.
But in Argentina, when I was 17, 18, I think it was, I joined this band that was already like a band that it was a band that I really liked when I was a kid, and then I joined the band when I was 18. They didn't want me to play before because I was too young.
Hmm.
I was underage. And then I started playing with them. Yeah, I was 18 and they were like 33 or 35.
Whoa.
Um, and we went to Brazil, we went to Uruguay, we played a couple shows inside but never like touring, it was like, okay, let's go play a show in Brazil, fly and come back. Let's go to Montevideo, Uruguay, play and come back. Let's go. There were a couple cities inside the provinces, like the main cities in Argentina that we will hit up, like Cordoba, Rosario, Santa Fe. But I mean, we will never go on a like 5 days, 10 days tour.
Gotcha.
I guess
Yeah.
yeah, it wasn't that easy.
Yeah.
But
That's
I got
interesting.
to experience traveling with them for the first time. It was really cool.
Yeah, that must have been cool to go out with like more experienced musicians when you're just like 18.
Oh my God. Also, these guys are like the guys that I was following when I was a kid. When I was 13, I would listen to these guys.
Yeah.
I remember,
That's so cool.
yeah, I went to see Blondie with Morrissey once in
Mhm.
2001, I think it was, the show, or 2002. And these guys that were playing too. And I remember seeing them in the crowd. I was like, wow, that's so cool. And then, yeah, like a couple of years later, I was playing with them. I was like, wow, that was really cool. And also, they were really, really good musicians. So I
Mhm.
definitely got to learn um, from from their musicianship too. I definitely got better at playing myself. I
Mhm.
started
Did you
listening.
play did you
I
play
play
guitar
bass.
with them? Oh, bass.
I play
Okay,
bass.
cool.
For some reason, a lot of the bands they asked me to play bass. So I recorded a lot of albums on bass. I play a lot of shows, and yeah, I guess I definitely like I feel like I am a good bass player too. Yeah,
Mhm.
guitar and bass are my instruments.
Cool.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, that's cool. What a cool story. I had no idea. Like, I'm glad I
yeah.
asked because, you know, you don't know what's going on with something like that's amazing. I just want to hear real quick like how you ended up connecting with that band. Like, did you just meet one of the people one day or
Well, my sister, my older sister, Flor, she's 7 years older than me, and again, yeah, by the time when she was 15 or 16, she was out of my house already.
mm-hmm.
And we are from 1 hour away from the city. We grew up in this town is called Padua. But she will go into the city all the time, and then she pretty much moved out of my house and moved into the city. And she will hang out in all these places where all the musicians were, and she was friends with everybody.
Oh,
And
cool.
then she came with the guitar player of this band that I really like once to my house, and I just woke up and what the fuck, which he's now is one of my best friends in Argentina. Uh,
Oh, cool.
and then later on, like a couple years later, that guy he started dating my younger sister. So then it became like a part of the family, you know. And
Uh-huh.
we share a lot of music, and I will go see them, and they will come to my shows. They will support my music too. Um, yeah, and then that's how we ended up connecting.
That's
I guess like
cool.
through my sisters, my older sisters, so that's how I met a lot of people back
Mm-hmm.
then
That's cool.
in Argentina. Yeah,
Yeah. And when did you come to New York? What year was that?
and that was 2012.
2012. And
Also
was it,
because
what's that?
no, also because of my older sister.
Oh, really? Did she move to New York too?
Yeah, she moved here, I think, in 2003 or something like that.
Cool.
And then, yeah, I guess like almost 10 years later, I just came for the first time to visit. And
Cool.
then right away, I started playing music. So I was like, oh, fuck this. And, and I had to call all those bands that I used to play with and just tell them,
Oh,
I was
you're
like,
like,
guys, I'm sorry, but I'm not coming back.
wow.
Yeah,
That's
thank to my friend
crazy.
Camila. My friend Camila, she was like, because I was like, no, I had to go back because my bands and this and that. She was like, yo, who cares? It's like, what? So you don't have anything here. Just stay there. Fuck it.
Uh-huh.
It's like you're not that as like like how do you say like not unique or important, but it's kind of like they can keep playing without you too.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was like, you know what, you're right. So I let
Mm-hmm.
them know. I remember they weren't very happy about it, but whatever. A couple of years later, we were cool
Mm-hmm.
friends, anyways.
Yeah.
And then yeah,
That's
so it's 2012. It's like 2020, 12 years ago. Yeah.
wow. Cool. And what'd you do like right when you got to New York? Were you just like trying to play everywhere that you could, or what was
Uh,
that like?
I will play the first couple of shows I played. It was playing guitar with my sister. She has some songs, so we play some of her songs. She had a project, and she used to play with this guy, an older guy. And then when I came, I was like, oh, I learned the songs, and we can just travel together and play a couple of shows in Europe and in New York. I think we played maybe like 4 or 5 shows.
Mm-hmm.
And then after that, this Uruguayan friend, Dinamita, he was in town, and we were just playing on the street, and but we were busking and making money. And then we were playing at every little single bar that we could find and jamming and jamming. He's like a blues man, so I would just do like chun 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 chun, and he will rip solos on top and like kill it, and we will get money that way. It was
That's
cool.
cool.
Yeah. Yeah, that
What
was
was your
before.
like? That was what?
I mean, that was before I started playing my own music.
Oh, okay.
I didn't have any songs mine yet.
Yeah. When did you start making your own songs?
Um, I guess the year after, I guess 2013. Yeah, I think that. Yeah, I think like the first thing that I did, I was kind of dating this girl, and she showed me some music that I didn't know. She showed me uh she showed me like I think White Fence and Stevie Moore, and I was like, oh, this is cool. This is like I didn't know about any of these bands, but I really like the Stevie Moore song. I like to stay home, and I remember I had like a really shitty. My friend had a computer, so like the setup was very basic. I think it was connecting a microphone behind the computer or something like that, and I recorded myself playing that song. So that was the
Mm-hmm.
very first recording, and then I put it on a Bandcamp, and then RCB Moore bought it from me. I don't even know how he got there, and then yeah, and then he put it on his Bandcamp. That he has like a thing with all people who covers his music.
Oh, no
So
way.
he bought it just to add it there. So I wrote to him. I was like, "Oh, thank you, blah blah." I didn't know any of his music besides that song. It's not that I'm a big fan or anything.
Yeah.
But I guess like that was the first thing that I recorded, and then after that, I wrote. I broke up with that girl, and then I got inspired to write some more music, and
Hmm.
I recorded like 4 songs,
Wow.
all about her, and I think that was my first single and EP that I recorded later that year,
Wow.
right? Yeah, and then that's when I first played my show. I think it was June or July 2013. Maybe.
Wow.
Yeah.
Where was that? Do you remember? What
We
bar?
played, yes, I remember very, very well. It was a house show. Ah, man, I don't know how to explain it. Uh, Hopefully I'm not wrong on where it is. It's like, you know what, that pizza place, the guy he got canceled recently and they closed it is on Central Avenue and like Bushwick, Central Avenue and oh fuck.
Oh, no, I
It was
don't live in the
really.
city, so I'm
Oh,
bad at
okay,
this
okay,
part.
okay.
Yeah,
Sorry.
yeah. It's okay.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Anyway, it was like a house. It was a this house that they would throw house shows in the
Uh-huh.
backyard, and yeah, that was the very first one. I think it was with that band Milk Dick,
Nice.
with the Lemons that they were coming from Chicago, and then Flower Power. No, Flower Girl. I don't know if you
Nice.
remember them.
I don't remember them, but
Okay, so it
I
was a
know
four.
Milk Dick.
Milk Dick, yeah, that I love that
Yeah.
band. It was the four
Uh-huh.
of us, and again, I remember I was so fucking nervous because it was my very first time, and I had to sit on a chair too. Even though after playing with so many bands live and recording and everything, it was my first time playing my own music. So I was like, oh my God, like in a different country, and also I was
Uh-huh.
trying to sing in English too, so I was kind of like so embarrassed. And I
Uh-huh.
played that show. First song, I cut a string, so I had to play the rest of the show without one string, and it was
No.
raining, so we were under a tent. It was kind of like it was chaotic, but that was the first time. And a couple of years ago, this guy he came to my show and he was like, "Hey man, I saw you playing. I think it was your first show that you were sitting down, and it was so different." I was like, "Yes, of course, it's very very different."
Wow.
Yeah, I think like like anything, you get better and better,
Hmm.
or more comfortable at least. Yeah,
Hmm. Did you get more shows from that show, or like, or were you just going around asking places to play after that, or like did it just
yeah.
grow from there?
I think like after that show, maybe I spent like a month or 2 months without playing,
Hmm.
just keep maybe like recording more songs or like getting more songs ready, and then I tried to start. I wanted to play with people, so I started asking every single person I knew if they wanted to play with me. So I started practicing with this guy and a girl, and these two guys, drums and bass. We practiced 2 times and we never played live. And then I asked this Uruguayan friend who plays guitar to play drums, and then this other guy to. Anyways, and then after that we started playing shows. We play like I think it was the first time was the second time was Don Pedro's and can remember a couple other places. And then I just like then pretty much after that I put out my first single and I played Shea Stadium. So after that I got many many shows.
Nice.
Yeah, no, that
Yeah.
was cool.
That's
Back
cool.
then my friend Juan he was helping me with the drums,
Hmm.
and then on bass, Jenny was playing bass a couple shows. Jenny playing what band was that? I can't remember. Like every single person I know play with me. But everybody, anybody but you. But pretty much for real, everybody that I knew, I was like, "Can you play this show?" And they would learn the songs, and
Yeah.
like so random. Sometimes I see people, I'm like, "Wow, we played together, right? You played with me for like one show or 2 shows."
if you want to play with every person that you know and have enough cables for them to play with, check out Sorry Cables, which is the sponsor for today's episode. And I love these cables. I love this company. They're based in LA. Really good people. They make awesome quality cables. I've honestly never had an issue with the cables. Knock on wood. Knock on wood. But it's so good. Check them out at sorrycables.com.
And then I was like, a lot of people, people were busy and I couldn't just get bands together. So I would start playing solo shows.
Mm.
I think that's when I played the most because I remember there was, I think, in 2014 or 15 that I played like over 80 shows in New York. It was insane.
Wow.
I'll play sometimes like 2, 3 times a week. And I
Wow.
remember even like playing 2 shows a day, a night sometimes.
Yeah.
I just wanted to play everywhere. And
Yeah.
yeah, I guess just to put myself out there.
You're still doing that though. Like, isn't your last album that you put out? Doesn't there like a whole bunch of people on it on
Yeah.
your last album? Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, compared to back then, the albums weren't like that. I wasn't playing with many different people on the albums. The albums was
Mm-hmm.
like me and the drummer,
Mm-hmm.
or me, a drummer, and here and there, like maybe like yeah, that was pretty much it. But the last album, yeah, it was like 20 something. I don't know if 30 something people.
How did you even like manage that logistically? You just or just call someone and be like, "Come over, come record
Well,
with me."
no,
Or,
because basically, like basically the last album I played with 4 different drummers.
okay.
One session I did it with one drummer, and then I went to another session with 3 drummers. So we went with the three drummers, and then I will be like, okay, these 2 songs are for you, these 3 are for you, and these 2 are for you. So basically, depending on the style, I would pick different songs.
Wow.
Then while I record with this drummer, the other 2 they were hanging out, and then we'll
Mm-hmm.
move down next drummer. And yeah, so we did that with one bass player, then we did the other drummer with a one bass player. Um, and then when I will do the overdubs, like I will call someone to do trumpet one day and they will come and they will do, okay, another day I get someone to do overdub trombone and then someone to do the accordion. Or the bandoneon. Anyways, like that, it took me like a year to record the whole thing because I will ask people to come over to my house and record backing vocals and yeah, like that. And some
Oh.
some remote ones, like I think I did. What was it that I did remote? Well, I mean, yeah, I mean, I can't remember actually, but I definitely did some saxophones remote, and yeah, but it was like that. And then next thing you know, I had like fucking 30 people on the
I
which is
love
cool.
it.
I like that because it sounds like all over the place, but it's like so I was able to produce it, so it has like a sound.
Yeah. That sounds super cool. I love it.
I like it too. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Yeah. Yeah. Um, so when I met you, I think it was like 2017 or 2018, right? And we were both on tour in Massachusetts playing like a
Yeah,
house show.
yeah. What
Um,
part was it, Massachusetts? That was like
it
Western
was
Mass. Oh,
yeah, Western Mass, yeah.
I remember that.
Was that your first tour? Or like how like when did you start touring with your
Um, I went on tour. Trying to remember. I don't know if it was opening for my friend Juan the first time that I went on tour. I mean, obviously I went playing with them before that, but with my
Mhm.
my opening with my own music, I think it was with them. Then with another band. No, I did a couple of tours before that because I think 2014 was or 15 was the first time.
Cool.
And then we did Europe in 2016. We did 2 tours in one year,
Wow.
and then 2017 we did one. We were playing I think to from 2015 to 18. So those 3 years were the ones that I played the most.
Okay.
which is kind of crazy because then I was feeling crazy. I mean, and those 3 years, I did like the States a couple of times, Europe 3 times. I went to Japan, to South America a couple of times. We did like a lot of different. We covered a lot of ground, like Mexico, Puerto Rico, and then
Mhm.
2019, I was like, you know what? I need to chill. I was falling in love. I was like, I need to chill. I need to like spend time connecting with this person, just to like get this relationship kind of, because if you're on tour, you can have a.
Yeah, it's
So I was
hard.
like, I really was like next year, I just do 1 year of chilling
Hmm.
in New York. I play a couple of shows here and there, and then next year I do the tours, and then fucking COVID happened, and that was like a big, that's when I was like, fuck, you can't really plan like that anymore,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
because that was like I was just ready to keep going, and then
Hmm.
after 2020, I was like, fuck. But I guess it worked out because I was able to learn engineering, and
Hmm.
now I'm working in the studio, and I record my own music, so it worked out.
Yeah. I want
But
to hear more about that too, but all those tours that you played, did you book them yourself or did you have a booker help you or
I
how'd
didn't
you
have
do
a
it?
booker in Europe. Actually I had a booker. It was my friend Audrey. And
Hmm.
so yeah, she helped me book those. In the States, different tours. Like when I opened for Juan, it was through his agent. Then this guy who put out my first album, he helped me book some shows too.
Hmm.
Um, then another tour was opening for another band, so I was just jump on their tour.
Hmm.
Yeah, it was kind of like no, never had a booking agent until I think earlier this year.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, this guy Mark, he's booking the shows. He's the best.
Oh, cool.
But
Did he see you play somewhere and then just like hit you up or how'd you get connected?
yeah, I went to last year. I went to open a show in Philly for my friend for Steve, Delicate Steve.
Oh,
I
nice.
opened
I
I
know
opened
Steve.
his shows. Yeah, I opened his show in I think we did a couple of shows. I can't remember. We did Boston, Philly, New York, and a couple more cities. When we play Philadelphia, I met Mark, and he had a yeah, he has this booking agent, like independent booking agency, and he was like, if you want, we can try, I can book you some shows. I was like, please. No, it's too much to do everything by myself.
Hmm.
And yeah, so I've been working with them. He's
That's awesome.
and also he helps me like, I mean, he's my booker, but I do ask him a lot of questions, and he definitely guides me a little bit sometimes.
Yeah.
It's a really big help.
Yeah. That must be a relief to have like a someone on your team, like in your corner who's
Definitely.
freaking just booking or like pitching you for things or you
Yeah,
know,
yeah,
that's
definitely.
huge.
It is. It is. It is. It's not like I'm not working with like sometimes like big agencies. I mean, they have the name and they have all the contacts and they have all the bands that they can get you in, which
Hmm.
is very convenient sometimes. I guess also it really depends on the person had to really want be into the project in order to really get you things.
Hmm.
Sometimes you can be in. I signed with ATC in Europe, which is like I was checking the people in the rosters. I was like, wow, this is really cool. And just because I was there doesn't mean that I got like any major
Yeah.
tour. It's like um so I don't know. It's yeah, but I'm happy to have him in the States. Definitely.
Yeah.
It's cool.
Yeah, it's funny. Yeah, if you're like there's like the little fish in the big pond kind of thing that could happen sometimes if you're working with like a bigger agency and then you're not as important or
Yeah.
something, or they could book a show for another band that makes them like thousands of more dollars or something, so they'll just like pick that band instead of your band.
Yeah, I mean they're gonna pick the band who when you go to the Spotify has more plays and they have more hype. I mean it's like that. It's
Yeah.
like they're talking about and at the moment. It's like just like you gotta like while it lasts, because obviously we know that everything goes out, goes down. So it's like those guys are like, okay, now let's push this band, and
Mm-hmm.
that's how they make the money. If not, it makes sense.
Yeah.
If not, unless some people are really passionate and they believe in something and they're like, I know that if I push this, it's gonna like in the
Mm.
future, it's gonna really pay off. There's
Yeah.
not really in the music industry. There's very little people like that nowadays.
I know. So when you find that person, you're like, yes, thank you. Yeah.
Yes, yeah,
Yeah.
but
But yeah, so um when did you start your studio? Was that in 2020 when everything like stopped happening with live shows or how did
yeah,
that
I
happen?
guess with the with the checks that we were getting, I got a lot of gear.
Uh-huh.
I was like, I want to do that. I want to do what the English did back in the 70s when they can start getting like all the instruments. All the punks they will get all the instruments with like unemployment money.
So
And I was like, I want to do that. And then I had so much time and I want to learn.
hmm
And my friend, he was giving some classes, and I kind of like, I mean, I always knew a little bit of recording, and through doing like portrait studios and then tape machines and here and there, like GarageBand and a little bit of cool Edit Pro, whatever, like the all, like programs. And then during the pandemic, I got to buy some gear, and then I had so much time, so I started reading. And this guy at the studio where I'm at right now, he told me how to solder. So, and I started like doing more electronic stuff and learning a little more about the little bit about everything, like a little how like this microphone sounds like this and this one like that. I want this one for this one. And then I started getting deeper and like, oh, I want instead of getting the drummers just to play the drums, and no, I want the drums to sound like this. So I'm like, gonna get this snare, and then when I cover, no, it's just like let's move the rack a little bit. Like, I started like getting more like particular about what I want. I
hmm
started learning how to get sounds, and so yeah, I think it was then, but it was at home. I got a
hmm
Roger drum kit, and then I got a spring reverbs and blah blah, a mixer, and I started reading about what mixer was better. And then after that, obviously, at some point I started needing money, so I started selling all that shit. But after I recorded my album, I just recorded
Okay.
my whole album at home.
hmm
Um, I did some drums upstate New York, but then I finished all the guitar, synth, and horns, vocals, everything at home. So once I needed to pay for the mixing, I sold my gear and I started paying for the mixing and the mastering, which are things that I wasn't feeling like I could do.
hmm
I wanted just to take it to the next level, so I just paid someone that I really like.
hmm
And then after that, I was kind of like, okay, now I have nothing again, Now I got all this knowledge and this beautiful sounding album, but I don't have any gear.
hmm
And my friend who owns this studio that I'm at right now, he was moving out, and he didn't. He wanted to leave all his gear here for like a year.
hmm
I started renting this studio with all the gear. So I came to
Okay.
this big studio with like a mixing board, like a 32 channel Neotech, all this
Wow.
outboard gear, the instruments, like plate reverbs, like everything. So I did that for a year, and I learned so much. I started like recording bands, and it was really cool.
Cool.
And then next thing I know, I'm just here still a year later, and I'm gonna now it's my studio. Just he took all his stuff.
hmm
And with some other friends, we joined forces, and now we have a studio
That's
running
so
again.
cool.
Yeah,
Wow.
and I finished. Well, actually, no, I didn't finish. But before he took everything away, it was kind of like the peak of this. Basically, I was recording, working, learning how to use all this gear, and then earlier this year, I recorded my fourth album that I'm working on right now.
Oh, cool.
And to me, it sounds way better than the one before, because everything I've been learning, I've been and I feel more confident, when it comes to getting sounds and stuff.
Cool.
So the album, I'm very happy actually with the next one that comes. Hopefully, I mean, I'm gonna put it out next year.
Cool.
And but and then at this time, I'm like, I don't want to spend money. It's just like I want to mix it myself. Maybe I just for mastering because I don't feel comfortable mastering anything.
Mm-hmm.
But mixing and recording, that's it. I don't spend any more money. No more
Mm-hmm.
money in the studio. So it's cool.
Yeah, that'll save you tons of money. Like,
That's
yeah,
saving me a lot.
yeah. Um, does like the work that you do with recording other bands like help you just pay for the studio, or like do you have to have another job otherwise, or is that
Yeah,
just what you're doing?
it is weird. It's like whenever basically I think in the past 2 months, 3 months, I got asked to do like a couple gigs, like in like random like a production gigs, like
Mm-hmm.
not doing anything related to music. Although I'm working, I don't know, with musicians or like stuff like that. But it's good money and very quick and easy. So I'm like, okay, fuck it. It's like I do this.
Mm-hmm.
And I've been like not focusing, but I've been doing that for the past 3 months. And the studio, I just like use it for myself. I haven't been
Cool.
recording because I got to the point I was like, man, I'm just recording other people's music. So I had to find the balance. I don't want to be like the studio person only. I just want to be able to do my music
Mm-hmm.
and just to cover the studio expenses and record my
Mm-hmm.
friends. That's actually that will be the sweet spot.
Yeah, yeah,
Now I've
that's
been
pretty cool.
working. Yeah, because if not, I was like actually working a couple times a week recording. And when I do sessions, I do like 11 hours, 10 hours.
Mm-hmm.
Um, yeah, it's a lot. I
Yeah.
love it. I don't get me wrong. I really like it. But there's a lot of bands that you don't really care about much.
Mm-hmm.
Although I always find something that even if it's like something that I don't know, music that I don't like, I always find something that, I try to find like excitement somehow.
Mm-hmm.
I really make the effort. It's kind of like the same with like we were talking about earlier with the hypnosis and everything.
Mm-hmm.
If you really want to do something, you just like get into like that. But yeah, now that I haven't been recording many bands in the past 3 months, I'm actually now I want to record again.
Well,
So next
yeah.
next year I might do like a balance
Nice.
of everything. Yeah.
Yeah. I think part of being like a creative person is you need to be like aware and okay with like the peaks and valleys of like wanting to do something and then not wanting to do it. Like it's
Yeah.
okay. And like sometimes it's easy to be like, "Oh, why don't I want to do that?" Or like, like and
Yeah.
I think it's good to have a few different things you can focus on so that you can be in a different mood different
Definitely.
times. Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm not I don't really I never get too concerned because whatever I'm doing is because I 100% chose to do it. When
Hmm.
I don't want to when I'm not recording it's because I didn't want to be recording. When I'm recording it's because I really push the studio and I can see I'm like, okay, all of a sudden I'm very booked.
Hmm.
That's because I looked for that. So it's
Hmm.
kind of like it depends on what I wanted to do. Obviously, it's not immediate, but if I would really want to record bands right now, I'm thinking about it. I spend this month to kind of like focus on that, and then I guarantee by early February, I'm pretty booked. You know,
Hmm. Hmm.
you have to give time for people just to just to convince people that they want to. You gotta fun with them, with the no, but for real, it's like it's kind of hippie. It's kind of like the what just whatever you want to do, just do it. That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's a good attitude.
yeah. I guess.
Yeah. Um, cool. So I know you mentioned like earlier you were like, you know, as you get older, you get more concerned about like I guess the gigs you take or like am I gonna be sleeping on the floor? Am I not gonna be sleeping on the floor? So you've been like more picky about what you leave the house for these days?
Yeah. No, I mean now that I have kids, I mean I have three kids, so I can't just like go sleep in the floor and give like nah, I don't have any kids. But
I was like, what?
no,
I
but
was like, when did that happen?
what do
Okay.
what do you miss? No, 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 I don't have kids that I know of. But the the thing is like I really with the same mindset. It's like whatever you want. If I want to sleep on the floor, I can do it. I mean,
Uh-huh.
I can do it like so easily. I just lay down on the floor and I sleep. It's not that hard, you know.
Yeah.
But sometimes I found myself like like when you go on tour, you spend a lot of time at the show talking to people. Then you spend a lot of energy playing, and then you have to go to the merch table and so it's like a lot of social thing.
Mm-hmm.
When you go to sleep, you want to go to sleep. You don't want to. I don't drink alcohol anymore, so I don't really. I can hang out, but for like an hour, you know.
Mm-hmm.
I
Mm-hmm.
don't want to just stay up until like very late, and then the day after I had to do it all over again.
Mm-hmm.
So sometimes I'm like, when people ask me, before I used to go approach people, be like, "Hey, can I crash at your place?" I was the one asking,
Yeah.
because I was down to party and to hang. But now I'm like, I'm being a little more emo, I just want to be by myself and just think about my feelings and life, and and I don't want to be with like a lot of people, like or having to entertain, because a lot
Yeah.
of times you go to someone's house and they just want you to chill with them and talk. It's like if you invite me home, it's like let me just be by myself, and it's kind of
Mm-hmm.
rude, So it's just in order just to avoid that and not be that person, I just rent a room or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But I had to have money for that. The show had to pay for that. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's kind of like, and if I obviously if I go to places and then I have my friends, I love to do that because it's like way less energy catching up with friends is beautiful, but it's just meeting someone from zero is it requires to spend like that extra energy,
Yeah.
and you don't know why you're gonna be like yeah, you don't know what you're gonna find, it's like maybe it's a lot of intense people. Hopefully you find someone really nice. You never
Mm-hmm.
know. So
Yeah.
I guess yeah, I'm again I'm so down for the adventure still,
Mm-hmm.
but I need to protect my privacy too.
Yeah.
And also when I travel with that, and also when I travel with people, I can, I'm not traveling with like teenagers anymore like we used to.
Mm-hmm.
Now I play with people that they get paid to play,
Mm-hmm.
I had to pay them. It's a solo project, it's not a band. If it's a
Mm-hmm.
band, everybody's going the same direction. I'm just finding like the musicians for each show or each tour. And these are people that they're playing with a lot of bands. So in order to come play with me, they just need to get paid and they want to have like I remember when I went to play in Argentina, this bass player that I love, he came and he was like, yeah, but I usually just get like front seats on the plane, like the closest one. And I was
Mm-hmm.
like, okay, I mean, is that it's like all right? So I guess I had to pay for that.
Wow.
And but I mean, it's like I love the way he plays.
Mm-hmm.
If I don't have if I don't get enough money or I don't have the money to pay, I don't do it. But if I
Mm-hmm.
can afford it and I want that person, then I do it. Um,
Yeah.
so yeah, it has to be it's a balance of those.
Yeah. The tours that you're doing these days, with all that in mind, like with you getting hotels and all that, like are you coming home with any money, or are you like just breaking even, or like paying everybody? Do you lose money, or like does
I
it
mean,
vary?
right now, I just don't go on tour.
Mm,
Yeah. I feel like that's the best solution for me right now.
yeah,
And
I
it's
get
like,
it.
yeah, I was just like go on tour, just play New York. When I want to go play shows somewhere else, I just go with my guitar solo.
Mm-hmm.
I guess unless if someone shows interest and they want me to go, I go, but we had to cover all these expenses.
Mm-hmm.
And if not, I mean, I don't why just to kind of like no, yeah, I'm not having that experience now because I'm not doing that.
Mm-hmm.
When I go solo, I come back with some money.
Mm-hmm.
I guess it works out better that way to go
Mm-hmm.
solo. And those tours that I was talking about, like the one in South America, and then the one that I did when the album came out. I just took the band to do a few shows. I just wanted to do a record release in New York, one in LA, and then we happened to have a show in we had in Philly and North Carolina, and then where else? We played another show. I can't remember. Oh, and then we had to do something else in LA. But anyways, that made sense for me because I was like, okay, it's kind of like it's like a for like a special occasion like that. I
Mm-hmm.
do it, and if I break even, which is what happened,
Mm-hmm.
it's great because I paid the band. I just like promoted the album. Boom. And that's it. That's all it is. It's like I'm not gonna just try to conquer the world. It's like it's all good. It's like I play
Mm-hmm.
the shows whenever it's like makes sense, I do it. If not, it's like I never really done that. I know a lot of musicians that I encountered through my years of touring or like sharing with people that they invest money on like going on tour.
Mm-hmm.
I won't say names, but I won't give names, but they pay like over 10,000, just like wow, to
Yeah.
pay for the tickets,
Yeah.
the van and the gear that they rent. I'm like, dude, I mean, when I went on tour, the times that I went on tour, it's like I will get friends in Europe that they will let me use their gear,
Mm-hmm.
and I will rent my friend's grandma's little car. And I
Yeah.
will drive myself. They were never like tour manager. And
Yeah.
that's the
Yeah.
only reason why I will make it happen because we had almost zero expenses. And
Yeah.
then we merge the shows in Europe that also they pay for a place to stay. And so I will come back with some money,
Mm-hmm.
even if I was touring with the band. And sometimes the bands, when I went to Japan, I play with people from Japan. When I go to South America, I play with people from South America. And,
Mm-hmm.
I kind of like make it work like that.
Mm-hmm.
The only way that I would spend like 10,000 bucks, like just to go on tour, should basically paying to play,
Mm.
which I think it should never happen.
Yeah.
The only reason that I will do that is if I get like a really cool uh opening opening spot. If I go on tour with a band that I don't know, the Rolling Stones come tomorrow. Maybe not the Rolling Stones. I love the Stones, but that would make no sense. But I don't know. A band that I don't know what band that
Mm-hmm.
would make sense. The Cure. If the Cure comes tomorrow and they're like, Tall Juan, we take you on tour. We just have $300 a show. And I'd be like,
Yeah.
fuck. I can go solo
Yeah.
and not
Yeah.
lose money, but it's fucking the Cure. It's just like I'm gonna take this opportunity to play in front of people. Madison Square Garden and stuff like that. And then
Mm-hmm.
okay, fuck it, put $10,000. I do it.
Mm-hmm.
But just to go to South by and just to tour and sleep in floors and stuff like that, I will never do that. Honestly,
Yeah.
makes no
Yeah.
sense. I
Yeah. I
think it
get
like
it.
makes yeah. So and I don't think it's nobody, no one else should do it, but I'm not in that mode. I can just play the guitar at home and be happy too.
Yeah. Yeah. I know a band that recently started a GoFundMe to get the money to get the funds to go on a tour. And it's
Yeah,
like,
yeah, yeah. And I see a lot of our band broke on tour, and it sucks, because these
hmm
are my friends.
hmm
And like that sucks that you had to like put yourself in order to for you to entertain people. Like, always saw touring as a circus. I'm a big fan of clowns and circus, and the
hmm
circus I is a lot of suffering.
hmm
And there's a lot of like you doing like what you're doing just to bring a show to people because you live on the road, and then for people's entertainment, people laugh and everything. And once the lights go down, back into the struggle,
Yeah, yeah.
suffering. And I like I romanticize that idea a lot. Um, but I feel like that makes sense if you go and you cut in some tickets. If you don't cut tickets, why are you gonna do it?
hmm
You know, if you're gonna go to fucking in the middle of nowhere in Ohio, Akron, Ohio, which is a cool town, but
My sister lives there.
yeah,
That's
okay.
the only reason I would go see my
I
sister.
like it actually.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
cool.
yeah.
I had a really good show there. But if you go there and you got 5 tickets, it's like, why? Why should we do that? You know,
Yeah.
maybe
Yeah.
I'm wrong. I mean, because I guess if you keep doing it, you keep doing it, you keep doing it after like 5 years or 3 years of going every year, maybe 2 times a year, you start building a fan base,
Hmm.
right?
Hmm.
But that means that when you come back to New York, you had to work doing something else just to make the money, just to go on tour again. It's kind of like if at least the tourists would pay like themselves and
Yeah.
and and people, that'd be sick.
Yeah.
But lately, I mean, if I go on tour with the times if I had to go on tour right now with the band, I don't think it will pay itself.
Yeah.
So I just go next time I go. I think I'm gonna do earlier next year, but just with my guitar,
Hmm.
and then hopefully someone likes the songs enough that they call me next time to come with the
Hmm.
band. You know?
Hmm. Yeah. No, I totally relate with that because I haven't brought Fancy Moon on tour since uh January 2020 was the last tour that I did, and then
Oh
February
wow,
everything shut
that's
down.
great.
But it's the same thing. I'm just like I just don't want to blow all my money, like you know. But it's like
Yeah,
I do want to go on tour. It's just it's that whole like there's people are losing thousands of dollars to go on tour,
yeah,
and
that should
you
never
know
happen.
yeah, exactly. It's just, and yeah, the older you get, the more, like you said, we're not like teenagers or like young 20-year-olds anymore with like your friends. Your friends are like trying to pay their bills too. Like, you don't want to
Hmm.
be like, hey guys, let's go on tour for nothing. Like, you got to
Exactly.
pay everyone to be there too and like take
Yeah,
off of their work or
a lot of
whatever
these
they're
people they
doing.
have kids. You know, at this point,
Yeah. 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 So it's like
so
you
their kids
can't,
they have to eat.
yeah. Yeah.
They
Yeah.
don't just like eat. Like also, this government is not the greatest for people who are like it's like I guess like I have like the adventurous spirit, and I think like because the way I am and the passion I have for music and also not only music because I like music a lot, but I like performing a lot, right? I
Mm-hmm.
like I like the theater behind the whole show, and so that will never. That's what's gonna always keep me motivated to keep doing it. But I'm not saying that you had to make $1 million or make money necessarily, which I think we should, but at least not paying for to do it. So I'm
Mm-hmm.
paid to in order for me to be able to show you something. Can I show you what I do? I'm gonna pay for this just because I believe in what I do, and which sounds beautiful, but you can do that I mean, for so long. It's like after a while, it's like, how long are you gonna be paying in order
Mm-hmm.
to try to show people that what you do is beautiful, which it
Mm-hmm.
is. But it's like try to like break even.
Mm-hmm.
That's actually, and I feel like that's when because I know promoters they struggle too, and venues, they also like I definitely don't sympathize as much with music industry people as with artists, but of course they need to make money. They need to pay the staff and the rent, blah blah blah. But I
Mm-hmm.
feel like it would be nice um, to have a little more support from everybody. If everybody would like let go a little bit, and then even like the audience will support a little more,
Mm-hmm.
that will make it a little easier for all of us just to bring out the entertainment to the streets on tour, just people going out, like paying for the tickets, not asking for the guest list, going out to the shows, buying like this fucking sticker at the merch table at least, if you can buy
Yeah.
if you can buy like the album, just buy it, whatever. Uh,
Hmm.
like little things like that will make it instead of like musicians having to ask for like fucking GoFundMe, which is fucking ridiculous.
Yeah.
That's like that should be
Mhm.
for people families who have no food to put on the table of their kids. Not for
Mhm.
musicians who have not money to go on tour.
I know.
You know,
I know.
like or someone who has like to get their citizenship pay
Hmm.
because it's like they're illegal and those things I think like they make more sense to me. We got
Yeah.
to like a really weird place with like music.
Yeah, we have to do the Tara, my bandmate, she always says people are doing GoFundMe's to get to work, you know? Like GoFundMe to go on tours, like making a GoFundMe, like help me go to work. It's like,
Yeah, but and also if you tell me like it's like a little push that you need and that's amazing, and then you start making money on tour. But that's the thing. It's like sometimes you do that. You go on tour and again you play a show for like 10 people, and then maybe
mm-hmm,
out of those 10 people, one person bought something on the merch table, and
mm-hmm.
then you have to see how you're gonna spend the night, and then it's kind of like God, come on. Like I was saying you in Europe, right? That they put you in like they give you a place to stay. Usually they give you food at the venue. There is like a little more respect uh, towards musicians or artists in general, like performers. And I feel like
Definitely.
that will be cool if in the States it will be a little more like that,
Yeah.
just to be like actually that place Tubby's upstate. They have in Kingston.
Mm-hmm.
They have a little room, apartment that they let people who's on tour crash there.
Oh, nice.
That has to happen more. I know
Yeah.
that not every venue has like the real estate just to put a bed there,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't know. They had to figure it out. It's not we don't have to figure that out.
Yeah.
We're just bringing the music, the show. We're not the promoters or the owner of the venue.
Yeah.
So those
Yeah.
people they should
Yeah.
just see how they can make it a little easier for us to bring our show to their club.
Yeah. To be better for everyone too.
Yeah, I mean everybody will benefit from it,
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
guess.
I have just one.
Or we can
Or
ask Mr. Trump, but
yeah, yeah,
he's a millionaire, right? He says,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
"Yo, Trump, come
Hey,
on, dude.
yeah.
Like we all voted for you."
Big free rooms at Trump Towers for musicians
It's
on
like,
tour.
yeah, fuck the immigrants, man,
Like,
motherfucker.
I have one more question for you. Uh, do you have any regrets at all in your life, like doing the musician path? Like, because, there are tough things about it, but there's amazing things about it. Or is there like anything you would change? Do you wish you were just doing some,
No, no, not
no?
really. I was thinking
Mm.
like when no, no, because I mean I don't want to just make money like a main thing, but also like when I was like touring a lot. Well, no, it's not regret. It's more like I wish I was. It's kind of like which is not regret. So I wish I was like as like looking back when I was on tour way more. Uh, I mean, I wish I was playing like the what I'm playing now when I was on tour back then.
Mm,
Because I consider like this like a sonic. I just became more like a nerd about like I like music sound a lot, so I
mm-hmm,
just care about when I go play just for everything to sound better.
mm-hmm,
Just like so I'm like, oh man, I if I knew what I know now back then, my shows would have sound like way better. And
mm-hmm.
also I consider like I consider myself a better player now, so I guess I will be playing better. So that's the only thing. But that's stupid to think that way. And it's like more like I'm happy that because of all of that I went through to get here where I am right now, I'm gonna do something better in the future. So that's actually the way I'm thinking it.
Yeah,
Yeah. No, I no regrets. I had such a good time.
yeah,
My whole life. I
yeah,
party hard. I got fucked up. I met a lot of people. Like sleep around with like a lot of people. I just like it's good. Yeah, for
yeah.
real. Have fun. We all have fun.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely.
Yeah, cool. Yeah. Well, thank you so much.
No
This was
regrets.
awesome. Thank
Oh
you.
yeah, thank you, Melissa. I'm glad that also we met through music too.
I know. I know.
That's
It's
that's
cool.
it.
And your band sounded freaking amazing when I met you in 21,
Nah, who
whatever it
was
was.
playing?
Pat
No,
was playing with you.
I
Pat
was
was
playing.
playing
Yeah, playing
bass.
along,
Yeah,
but
yeah. You were awesome. Everyone was just dancing like crazy in that Massachusetts house.
yeah, definitely.
That
Yeah,
was
but
fun.
it's like actually I got some people being like, "Oh man, I just discovered your music now, and I wish I've seen your show, with your first album." I'm like, dude, there were people there. It's like it's a little late. I'm
Yeah.
not gonna go back to play the way I used to play before. It's like it's too late.
It's
And
silly.
but I guess like I guess I don't regret, and I think why those shows were good, but I don't think it sounded good. They had their thing, there was like what we were doing in the moment. It was what we were doing, whatever.
Hmm.
But looking back, I'm like, oh my God, it sounded really bad to me.
I think every musician feels that way too. Like there's so many videos on YouTube that I can't even I can't even look at. I like if I press play, I'm like, oh God, it's
Fuck,
terrible. But
yeah.
it's not even that bad. It's just like you hear you grow so much that you hear, the growth over the years, how much better you could have done. So I think it's natural to feel
Yeah,
that
you're
way.
right. Yeah, we're like
Yeah.
also, yeah, and also we're like our worst critic too.
Yeah.
So
And
I guess.
every once in a while too, you're like you listen back and you're like, that was sick. You're like,
But
that
at the
was
same time,
that
I feel like I like that because I mean I'm not obsessed with any of this. I just let things be, and I'm happy with. But I think at the same time that's what kind of personally keeps me like kind of trying to grow, and just
Mm-hmm.
to do different. Like,
Yeah.
if not, it will be
Yeah.
always the same. It will be boring.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. All right. Thank you so much for tuning in to this week's episode of What It Takes to Be a Rock Star. Hope you enjoyed that conversation as much as I did. And I'm looking forward to next week. There's another super special guest coming. And we'll see you then. All right. Bye. 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 Bye.